on those who do not have or have less are cultivating and the society, the advertisement, the media, the education, the government, the business leaders, everybody is trying to say, be envious is good. Be envious and get more, get more, get more. So envious and envy is good in our modern economic growth. Non-Gandhian, unsustainable economic growth, you can call it. And the second, if you have, that's a great. Never enough. If you are a billionaire, never enough. You are a Rupert Murdoch, a Bill Gates, never enough. However much you have, more power you have, more money you have, still you want more. There is no end to our greed. So these are the two driving forces. And all our education, all our media, all our advertising, all our business leaders, all our government leaders are pursuing these two goals. They are teaching subliminally or subconsciously or without maybe using those words, they are teaching that be envious and be greedy in order to prepare and perpetuate the economic growth continuously. What Mahatma Gandhi is saying is renounce and enjoy. Renounce and say, I have enough. If I have 2 shirts or 3 shirts or 2 pairs of shoes or 3 pairs of shoes, that's enough. I only have 2 feet, so I only can wear 1 pair of shoes at a time. I have only 1 body, I can only put 1 shirt at a time. Why I have a full wardrobe of shirts, 20 shirts, 30 shirts, 50 shirts in the wardrobe, and maybe 10 pairs of shoes or 20 pairs of shoes in my house. So renounce and practice what Mahatma Gandhi told about sustainable living is practice elegant simplicity. Simplicity is elegant. So beautiful, handmade, handcrafted goods you use. They are Swadeshi, locally made, they are natural, they will last, and nature will provide you plenty. There is a never shortage of anything in nature. Only scarcity is the idea of economics. In your universities, when you start to study economics, the first lesson is that there is a scarcity of goods. In nature, there is no scarcity. You plant one seed of a mango or an apple. Mango is a big seed, apple is a very small seed. You plant one seed in the ground. Now, from that one seed, a plant comes out, a tree happens, branches come out, leaves, blossoms, beautiful color, beautiful sight, aesthetic location, aesthetic experience. And out of that blossom, fruit. And from one seed, a tiny seed of apple, imagine, thousands of apples. For not 1 year, but year after year after year. That is true growth. True economic growth is growth of nature, where one seed is giving you thousands upon thousands of apples for 20 years. And all that tree is recycled. At the autumn, the leaves fall and they go in the ground and they nourish the soil, feed the earthworms, nourish the roots, and then in the winter time it's feeding itself, resting itself. Then comes spring, new leaves. It's a cyclical economy, not a linear economic growth where you grow and end in abyss. That is what we are facing, abyss and scarcity, where the nature economic growth is cyclical and that is sustainable because you are going from seed to tree to fruit, and in the fruit is a seed again. And that to ensure that you don't miss that seed, one apple will have 3, 4, 5 seeds in it. And because mangoes are big, so you have big one seed, but an apple, and then there are some fruit like fig. In one tiny fig seed, there will be hundreds of seeds in one fig. Can you imagine? From one seed, you get lots of figs, but every fig has hundreds of seeds more. That is the kind of, we have to biomimicry. This is called biomimicry. There's a beautiful book written by Janine Benyus, a scientist in the United States. She has written a book called Biomimicry. We have to learn from nature. Nature is our greatest teacher. We have forgotten. We think that knowledge is in the books. We think knowledge is in the Google. We think knowledge is in somewhere in our computers. Knowledge is in nature. We have to learn to read the book of nature. And that is what Mahatma Gandhi, when he started his ashram, he created his ashram under the trees. The Buddha sat under the trees. Rabindranath Tagore created his school, Shantiniketan. He said, we have to sit under the trees. And Tagore will say that we have two teachers to his children. Say, you have two teachers. One me, your human teacher. And the other, the tree. The tree is your teacher. And learn from the tree. Unconditional gift that tree gives every day to everybody. Shade to humans. And the place for the birds. And just imagine the wood for the fire, for the houses. How much tree gives unconditional love, unconditional gift to everybody. That is how Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, and great rishis before them, and the Buddha himself learned from nature. So our modern society is completely disconnected from nature. We are a generation of disconnected and rootless, disconnected and rootless civilization. And so we in big cities like Bangkok, New York, Tokyo, New Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, these big cities, we are living in what is called civilization. Once Mahatma Gandhi was asked in London, Mr. Gandhi, what do you think of Western civilization? He said, I think it would be a good idea. Where is civilization? Please show me. Where is civilization? A civilization which creates this kind of a scenario, so many wars, so much poverty, so much exploitation, so much destruction of nature, rivers polluted, oceans polluted, global warming, climate change, resources depleting, population exploding. Is that the mark of civilization? Is that the mark of civilization? So let's get away from, if this is civilization, I don't want any of this. I want culture. In India, we actually don't have a word for civilization. We have a word for culture, Sanskriti. And all our Indian tradition and Indian philosophy, Upanishads, Veda, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, they were all composed, Upanishads, they were all composed in nature, in forests. All the great teachers, Valmiki, Tulsidas, all these great teachers and poets, they lived in the forest. And so Mahatma Gandhi's sustainability message is that we need to learn to live a beautiful life, but elegant and simple. Simplicity. Any fool can make things complicated. It requires a genius like Mahatma Gandhi to make things simple. Simplicity is not easy. Simplicity is the most difficult, but it's most elegant and most durable, most sustainable. So if we want a sustainable future as envisioned by Mahatma Gandhi, we need to do a few things. First of all, we have to free ourselves from fear. Freedom from fear is the first step towards the Gandhian sustainability. Why this fear that what will happen tomorrow? What will happen when I'm an old person? What will happen when I'm ill? What will happen? Always we are fear. We are educated and we are made to fear the future. So freedom from fear is the first step towards the Gandhian sustainability. And then that's the kind of fear, that freedom from fear will free you to live in the present moment. and make the present moment as beautiful, as wonderful, as celebratory as possible. And then, in practical terms, we have to come to our educational system. And we need to transform our educational system so that all of us learn to live in harmony with ourselves, with our natural world, and learn to make things, like I said, with our hands. So head, heart, and hands. That kind of education is the Gandhian idea, basic education. Nai Talim, he called it, the new education, or the basic education, Bunyadi Shiksha. So these beautiful terms he created. So in conclusion, and then we can have some discussion about it, Gandhian sustainability is based on soil, which I talked about, seed and food, and taking care of the earth, because ultimately earth is our greatest source of livelihood. Without soil, there is no food. Without soil, there is no clothes, there is no house, no life. That 2 inches, 3 inches of topsoil sustains entire humankind, and not only entire humankind, but all the other species. And what I talked about, soul qualities, which are the heart qualities of developing compassion and relationship, because disconnection, lack of relationship, individualism is not a Gandhian sustainability. That I think, therefore I am, which is a Western idea. René Descartes said, "Cogito ergo sum." I think, therefore I am. Therefore, in response to René Descartes' individualism and dualism, I wrote a book following Gandhian principles. You are, therefore I am, and it is translated into Siamese and published here in your country, so you can get it. You are, therefore I am, which means we are all related. We are all interdependent, interconnected, interrelated. If that relationship is the key, and that understanding of that relationship is the soul quality, that we are all made of each other. We are made of same stuff, all of us, earth, air, fire, water, space, time, consciousness, intelligence. All these qualities are shared by all of us. And not only humans, but also other than human species. And so, understanding of that interrelatedness, interdependence, interconnectedness, we all are mutually, reciprocally related. We are made of each other. We are made of each other. So hum, so hum, so hum. That is the ideal of Mahatma Gandhi and ideal of India, that we are all related. The Western civilization, we are all individuals, also atomized. We are separated. We are individualism and dualism. We suffer from that. So if you want Gandhian sustainability of soil, soul, and society, we have to learn that we are all related. And so in that heart quality and a social quality, we bring together. And when you bring society, then you are freeing yourself, eliminating yourself from all kind of divisions. Divisions is not diversity. We celebrate diversity, biodiversity, cultural diversity, religious diversity, all kinds of diversity, welcome. It's beautiful that all of us are here, we all are humans, we are all members of Earth community, but we all have individuality. We have different eyes, different expression of the face, slightly different color of the hair, even our voice. Even if you all speak Siamese, still you have your own accent, your own voice. If you, even on the phone, if you ring somebody, immediately you recognize, oh yes, this is Sula, the voice, distinct voice. So that distinction, that diversity is to be celebrated. But at the moment, diversity has been turned into division. And so we have to go from division to unity. And unity is not uniformity. Our modern civilization is based on either division or uniformity. You go anywhere. You stand in Bangkok, if nobody told you you are in Bangkok, you could be anywhere. You could be in New York, you could be in Los Angeles, you could be in Chicago, you could be in any modern city, high-rise, concrete, steel structures. So diversity has gone, the cultural diversity has gone, and we have come to uniformity. And so move away from uniformity but celebrate unity. That is Gandhian sustainability. And move away from division and see the unity but celebrate the diversity. So it's wonderful to have so many languages, so many cultures, so many religions, so many ways of doing things, and all those are to be celebrated and appreciated. So this way we can free ourselves from all human conflicts, and we can free ourselves from wars and poverty and exploitation. So this way, Gandhian idea of soil society, our head, heart and hands, learning to do things, make things, be participants in the process of the universe, be the co-creators and the co-makers, and that is the divine in you. That way, I think Gandhi presents a wonderful philosophy, a wonderful politics, a wonderful economics, a wonderful spirituality, and wonderful way of education. So Gandhian philosophy is a very holistic worldview, a holistic approach, and I hope that you will have some time to study Gandhi and read Gandhi. But study and reading is only one step, small step. The real step is practice Gandhi. Make things, live close to nature, and learn to live and love nature. And out of love of nature, you will conserve nature, you will take care of nature, and humans are nature too. We are all nature. The word nature in Latin means to be born. So we are all born. So we are all nature, not only trees and the river nature, and we are humans, not nature. So we are all nature. So in that sense, we can create a very unified worldview in which we can create a wonderful, sustainable future for all. Thank you very much.
What do you think? Should we go for break first or as the break ready? Or you want to some questions? I thought we were going to put a session of Q&A after the break for everyone, but still we have time, so we can go with some questions. Yeah. Yes. Q&A time now. Comments? Anyone? Yes.
First of all, I'd like to appreciate your speech. I am very happy. You mentioned Veda and Buddha and Jaina and Gandhi also. And simplicity in the nature is very important. You expressed that. I want to know, then you mentioned Tagore also. These great people produced in India, but what is now at present situation in India? They do follow Buddha, they do follow Jaina, Mahavira, they do follow Veda, they do follow Mahatma Gandhi. What is the way of India?
Yes.
Can you explain? It is for my knowledge.
That's a very big question. Thank you. The entire world is at the moment influenced by the modern Western civilization. Entire world. Sri Lanka, India, Siam, Japan, Vietnam, all these Buddhist countries are following the Western civilization and not Buddhism. India government, business leaders, they have lost their way. And they are mostly educated in the West. They think that the Western civilization is to be copied and copied again and another carbon copy, and even rough carbon copy, and even faint carbon copy, but carbon copy nevertheless. Even not photocopy, even not scan, old-fashioned carbon copy, because it's getting fainter and fainter. So, unfortunately, this is the case not only of India, but Muslim countries. You go to Middle East, Saudi Arabia, or Dubai, or any Muslim countries. Where is Islam? Islam is a religion of peace. Where is Islam? Even Laos and Thailand had war over Emerald Buddha. So India has lost its way and not following, particularly the government and the business leaders are not following Gandhi's way, Buddha's way, Tagore's way, Jaina way, or Buddha's way. Unfortunate and sad. However, there are two Indias. One India, which you read in the newspapers, which is led by the government and the upper middle classes and business leaders. But there's another India, which is quiet India, which is not reported in the newspapers. And that India is 50 to 60%. They are living elegant, simple life as farmers. Although they are not getting as good price as the bankers get, but they are living without envy and without greed. There are thousands upon thousands of Gandhian workers all over India, small NGOs, doing very good work, like Vandana Shiva, like Mankar, like Rajendra Singh, like many others. I can give you hundreds of names. They are practicing Gandhian principles at the grassroots level. So, please do not give up hope on India. Please do not give up hope, because in India, this unsustainable economic growth is not going to last forever. If one source of oil, the energy source of oil, is stopped, Bangkok will collapse, Mumbai will collapse, New York will collapse, Colombo will collapse. We are all dependent on one source of energy, that's oil. Our food, our manufacturing, our transportation, our heating, our cooling, everything is dependent on one single source, which is finite. We are blindly thinking that this source will never end. The oil will never end. But it will end. It's a finite. I tell you, it will end. And then all the big civilization will collapse. But the 50-60% of farmers in India, and also maybe Sri Lanka, and also maybe in Siam, they are living close to the land, by the sun, by the rain, by the water, they will survive. So, Buddha's India, Gandhi's India, Tagore's India is sustainable. It will come back. And this Ambani's India, who has built 27-story house for one family in Mumbai. Can you imagine the modern civilization of envy and greed? 27 stories of house for one person. That will collapse. That's not sustainable. That will not sustainable. The moment oil runs out, it will collapse. So Gandhi's message, or Gandhi's way of living is sustainable, that will come back. It's still there, but what you read in the newspapers is only what is going wrong in India. And there's a lot of going wrong in India too.
One last question before we go for the break, and after we come back, we will have more questions. Yes, please.
Thank you for your talk. I just have a short question. Obviously, everyone in this room is convinced or they agree with Gandhi's concept of sustainability. But what about the people who are not here today and are so far from being convinced of this concept, right? How do we reach out or convince more people who are really on the other spectrum of this kind of thinking or perspective?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yesterday when I arrived and I met Sulak, Ajahn Sulak saying that we have to change the venue because there's an emergency. Because of this protest in the morning. Then Sulak said, but Satish, your message should be heard by these thousands of protesters. Will you go and speak there? just like that, all the dinner. And I said, if you say, Sulak, you are my mentor, and if you say, so he, telephone, where's telephone? You got the telephone. Ring. Sulak rings somebody, say, Satish Kumar is here. All people protesting should listen to Satish Kumar. And so, who can say no to Sulak? And the man said, all right, bring Satish. We will give him chance. And so we drove through the crowds and we on the stage and Sulak introduced me and I spoke to these thousands of protesters last night. Just spontaneously. But Sulak said there was a crisis, that we could not have my Gandhi lecture in the university. So crisis should be turned into opportunity. And so I got opportunity to give Gandhi Memorial Lecture in the protest to thousands of people. So we can use this protest as an opportunity to change and reach this message, not only to this small group, but large numbers of people. How do we do it? First of all, Mahatma Gandhi's most famous message, the two messages he gave. One is, my life is my message. And that means, be the change you want to see in the world. So if you want to influence the world outside, we have to be Gandhians, meaning we have to live Gandhian way. Words are just here. Words are just powerless. The power in our words come from our practice, from our experience, from our living example. So be the change you want to see in the world is the first step in influencing the large society. Second, we have to communicate. And all of you are leaders. Leaders are not going to come out of somewhere, India or somewhere else. You have to take the leadership. Every one of us is a leader. Even a 10-year-old person is a leader for a 5-year-old. A little brother say, oh, my 10-year-old sister, I will follow her way. She's a leader. So a father is a leader for his children. Mother is a leader for her children and her neighbors. So everyone is a leader. So please do not think that you are not a leader. We all need to learn to communicate these ideas of sustainability, of spirituality, of wholesome living, of ecology, of environment, of our relations with nature, our social justice. All these things have to be communicated. Not just Sulak and Satish, but all of you. You are all need to learn the ways of communicating through speaking, through writing, through poetry, through dance, through music, through painting, in whatever way you can communicate. That's the second. The third is organize. Organize. There are many good organizations are there. Friends of the Earth, Greenpeace, WWF, Sulak Foundation, many organizations in your country. Join them, support them, make them good, or create new organizations. Be social entrepreneur, be eco-entrepreneur, be green entrepreneur, and create projects, create organizations, create businesses which are sustainable and not dependent on fossil fuel. but dependent on human energy, solar energy, water energy, natural energy. So by setting good examples, by organizing, we can change the world outside there. And do not expect results tomorrow. Not overnight revolution. It's not happened overnight. It takes a long time. Transformation of our unsustainable system into a sustainable system is a long process. This industrial civilization has been built over 200 years, so you can't change overnight. It will take time. But start organic farms, start organic shops, start organic cafes, start organic cotton.